Okay, this is Unit 3, Cycle 1, Level 3, Infinity Learning. It's about parallel and perpendicular slopes. Today's fun fact of the day is that the national animal of Scotland is the unicorn. So I'm going to use two different colors for these notes. One's going to be for parallel and one's going to be for perpendicular. So parallel, I'm always going to use this color. Okay. And for perpendicular, I'm always going to use this color. If you would also like to use two colors, I will go ahead and tell you to pause so that you can go get your stuff. Alright, parallel lines have what we call the same slope. Okay? So, we'll go to practice that in a second. Perpendicular lines have opposite slope. Miss Smith, what do you mean opposite slope? Well, students, I will tell you in just a minute. So, the original slope is 2. Okay, that's what you start with. This is telling you your new slope. Now, we know it's not the same, so it cannot be parallel because 2 is not the same as a half. So, is it perpendicular? Do they have opposite slopes? Almost. The opposite of 2 is negative 1/2. You change the sign and flip it. Okay? Flip the fraction and change the sign. So, since this is a half, now these would be intersecting, but they are not going to be perpendicular. So, intersecting is not an option. We only have parallel, perpendicular, or neither. So since it's not parallel and it's not perpendicular, the answer is neither. Let's look at number 2. The original slope is negative 4. The new slope is positive 1/4. Are these the same? No, they are not parallel. Are these opposite? Yes. The opposite of negative 4 is positive 1/4. So these are perpendicular. Alright. The original slope is 3/4. The new slope is negative 4/3. Are those the same? No. Are they perpendicular? Is the opposite of positive 3/4 negative 4/3? Yes. So these are perpendicular slopes. The original slope is 12. The new slope is 12. Are those the same? That's right. 12 is the same as 12, so those are parallel slopes. Okay, write the following slopes for new lines if they were to be parallel or perpendicular. Remember, parallel means they're going to be the same, and perpendicular means they're going to be opposite. Okay, so if my original slope is 12, my same slope, my parallel slope, is also going to be 12. What's my perpendicular slope going to be? What's the opposite of 12/1? Negative 1/12. That is your perpendicular slope. Let's do another one. My parallel slope. If my original slope is negative 5/7, then my parallel slope has also got to be negative 5/7. It's still the same fraction. It's still negative. Let's try perpendicular. 7 over 5. Is it going to be negative? No, it has to be opposite. It's got to be positive 7 over 5 since my original was negative. Alright, let's look at the next page. Write the equation for a line parallel to y equals 5x plus 1 that goes through the point 0, 4. Okay, what's my original slope? Now, in y equals mx plus b, m is our slope value. So my original slope from this equation is 5. Now, what are they asking? They're looking for parallel. What does parallel mean? The same. So what is the same as 5? 5! Excellent! Now it wants us to write it in point-slope form. But Miss Smith, what's point-slope form? Well, they give us a point. It's right here. And we know the slope. It's 5. So, we plug in that new point for our equation. So, y minus y1 equals m x minus x1. And they give that to you on the star. So, y minus 4 equals, and then our new slope is 5. And then it's x minus 0. Now it wants us to put it into slope-intercept form. So we're going to take that same equation and we're going to change it into slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. So here we go. Y minus 4 equals 5, x minus 0. First, we have to distribute. We're going to distribute this 5 to the x and the 0. So now it's y minus 4 equals 5x minus 0. But we're not done yet because we need y all by itself. So I'm going to add 4 to both sides. That cancels out. You have to do the opposite. So now I have y equals 5x plus 4. Okay, so now it says graph both lines on the graph below. So let's do my first one. I'm going to use blue. It says, this is my first line, y equals 5x plus 1. I'm going to scoot down, y equals 5x plus 1. Now I hope everyone remembers how to graph. So I'm going to start at my origin, it's right here. My slope, my y-intercept is 0, 1. So here's my origin, 0, 1. That's my first point. Now, to get the rest of my points, I have to go up 5, right 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. Now I'm going to use a straight edge to connect these. You know what? I actually want one more. So to get another one, I'm going to go down 5 and left 1. Okay, so let's just double check. From here to here should be positive 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right 1. Good. Here's my straight edge, because you have to use a straight edge, otherwise your teacher won't count it. Don't give us those ugly crooked lines. It's got to have arrows. Okay, now we're going to graph our other line. For this one, I'm going to use green. And it's the line that we came up with right here. Y equals 5x plus 4. So, my intercept is 4. Here's my origin. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now my slope is 5. Oh no, I don't have enough space up here to count 5. That's okay. I'm going to go down 5 and left 1. Now this is why straight edges are so important. If they're parallel lines, they will never, ever, ever cross. And if they're crooked, they will. They're really close, but they're not crossing. So those are my 2 parallel lines. All right, let's do the next example. These are perpendicular. Perpendicular means they cross at right angles and they have opposite slope. Perpendicular to y equals 1/2 plus 0. I'm sorry, negative 1/2 plus 0. So my original slope is negative 1/2. Right there. My new slope is going to be opposite of that. So the opposite of negative 1/2 is positive 2. Now I'm going to write that in point slope form. Y minus 3 equals 2 x minus 0. Now I'm going to distribute. Y minus 3 equals 2x minus 0. This is how you get to slope-intercept form. Add 3, y equals 2x plus 3. And now it wants us to graph both lines on the graph below. So my original one, I'm going to use a different color this time. I'm going to use red. The original line is y equals negative 1/2 x plus 0. My y-intercept is 0. It's at the origin, so it starts right here. My slope is negative 1/2, which means I go down 1, right 2. Down 1, right 2. Down 1, right 2. Miss, why do you go down 1 instead of up 1? Because it's negative, and we have to have a negative line. My sticky note is barely long enough. So here's my first line. My second line is y equals 2x plus 3. Where did I get that? Right here. It's the one we figured out. My b value is 3. So 1, 2, 3. And then my slope is positive 2. So up 2, right 1. Up 2, right 1. But miss, you went down before. That's right. The red one, I went down because it was negative. This one is a positive, so I have to go up 2, right 1. Now, if I did this correctly, they will cross at exactly 90 degrees, which means it will cross at what the edge of your paper is. So let's check. See how it crosses right there? It looks like the corner of my sticky note. That means I did it correctly. Perpendicular means they have to cross at a right angle. So it's usually shown by a little square, just like that.